At this time, we'll call to order the Hamilton County Council meeting for Wednesday, March 3rd. Madam Auditor, may I have a roll call?
Yes, Brad Beaver.
Here.
Fred Glenn.
Present.
Amy Moftalamani.
Present.
Steve Nation.
Here.
Ken Alexander.
Present.
Sue Mackey. Here. Steve Sports.
Here.
Madam President, you have a quorum.
Thank you very much. I will ask Councilor Glenn to lead us in the invocation and pledge.
Everybody take a moment of silence and say a prayer in your own way. Now say the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I need a motion and a second for the approval of our meeting minutes from February.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
At this time, are there any public comments? Seeing none, we'll move to committee and officer reports. I have a couple of things. I did receive a letter in the mail commending Hamilton County and the efforts of our census return. So we were commended by the regional director of the U.S. Census Bureau, and apparently we had a lot of participation. So if anybody would like to see that, I do have that. Couple of other things. I just, again, want to echo the condolences of council to the Russell family after the passing of Mitch Russell, who was a retired lieutenant for the Sheriff's Department and Arcadia Town Council member. Two more things. We had a meeting, 21st Century leadership team met with the new chancellor of Ivy Tech, Dr. Atkinson, and she was incredible. So if any council member would like information to talk with her, she's pretty awesome. We're lucky to have her. And then lastly, our director of workforce strategy is departing, Carol Sergi, so she will be retiring, and her tenure will end the end of May. So if you see her, wish her well. We will miss her, and I know that tourism and economic development are actively looking for her replacement. So that is all I have. Mr. Vice President.
I have nothing at this time.
Thank you. Highway.
We did not meet.
Finance.
Okay, finance meet. We had a lengthy meeting with Mike Reuter. The auditor's passing out some a memo, kind of a recollection of the meeting. So as soon as you all get that, I'll run down the high points, and then the other two members, Ken and Fred of the finance committee, can add their comments to it. So we'll start at the top. A lot of the stuff that was in our joint meeting, we went down and tried to go through in the finance committee. We'll start at the top, which was the State Road 37 project. As you can see from the minutes there, our general plan now, consensus of the finance committee, was we will continue to pay cash as the payments come due on the cost overruns for 37. We will also get our council and Commissioner County Attorney together to do a, what am I looking for, bond reimbursement, resolution in place in case we get to the point where cash is no longer available. We can always go back within a year and get whatever money's back that we've paid cash and turn it into a bond. But the plan right now is to continue to make the $5 million payments out of cash until such point as we can't do that and still maintain our cash balance that Mike always likes to say. Also, this will tie into some other projects as we're going down through here. Number two, the parking garage. The parking garage, figuring the maximum build out, the 5 stories, the additional $600,000 for preparing the lot and shuttling the whole thing. It's Mike's recommendation to us that we do, like we thought about, pay for the construction with cash, but do a bond on the whole thing when we're done so that we can use property tax and we don't have to get into lit tax because it's available for a garage, but it's not available for some of our highway projects. So that would be the plan, would be when it's done, we'll roll it into a bond. You can see, not 146th Street, but the next one down, pay off in 2022. We've got a couple of smaller bonds paying off. The last one will be in 22. And so we would just convert the garage building into a bond and pay for it with bonds that are obligated by property tax. 146th Street in Allison, it will be paid for, majority of it will be paid for out of Major Bridge. As you know, earlier this year, we recommended, the auditor asked us to recommend to advertise Major Bridge at the highest possible rate. We'll make the final decision during budget hearings as to what the actual number would be. But the idea that the lion's share of the 146th and Allisonville project will be funded out of Major Bridge. And then I already talked about bonds paying off, two smaller ones that were going to help offset the new bond for the parking garage. And then the last one there is Pleasant Street. And our thinking there again is that we will do a bond paid for out of Major Bridge to pay for Pleasant Street. The ERP financial thing, we're planning on paying for that with cash. The buildings and grounds maintenance items, we will most likely, we didn't delve into that very well, we'll deal with it at budget time and probably deal with whatever it needs to with cash again. And the women's shelter, I'm gonna let Ken speak to that. Parkland acquisition, that's out of the parks funds anyway, so that's not really, we kind of approved that, but all we have to do is do an additional appropriation. They're using it out of parks funds. And the rest of them, I'm gonna let 146th Street projects in Gray, Cary, Hazeldale, I'm gonna kind of let Ken delve into that a little bit more. But that was the general consensus coming out of finances, how to deal with the major projects that are looking at us in the face in the next 2 years.
I appreciate the detail. Thank you, gentlemen, all.
Fred, do you want to say anything?
No, I want to hear what you're talking about on the women's shelter. That's kind of the main.
Gotcha. I just have one clarification, Brad. For the parking garage, if I'm not mistaken, one of the things he said is as soon as we know that there's the land sale and things are moving forward, that it might benefit us to bond it early to take advantage of the rates.
That's right. That was a discussion between us and Mike Reuter. Do you get the money first, do the bonds first, and have the money while the project? Either way, it will end up being a bond.
Well, yeah, but the thing that we did discuss on that same thing was the fact you take out the bonds, and if they don't do anything with it, it doesn't move as quick as we're going to be paying interest on that the whole time. So that's the issue we had.
We haven't nailed that down to the
So
minutest detail.
Yeah.
The general idea, but we did have the discussion. It's kind of.
but that is an issue. If we don't know exactly when that's going to happen, we're going to pay on that the whole time.
Conceptually, it was if we start seeing the bond market change a great deal,
Yeah.
we might want to move quicker on that.
We
to
do
take
want
advantage.
to get it together, though.
Correct.
Get the paperwork and the timetable for that. And I just, and Ken's got more to say, and I don't want to step on him, but Robin, have we already appropriated the 9.5 for the garage?
Yes.
And so the other
We
is,
have an additional.
yeah, we got an additional 2 on here, and I know we haven't voted on, we'll vote on it later, whether you're for it or against it. My feeling as one counselor, we absolutely have to have something in writing that commits the developer to buying our lot. I cannot see us going forward. I'm not saying you have to write the check, but we cannot go forward on a garage without some kind of legal commitment you can hold somebody to that they're buying our lot. Without that, we don't need the garage. That's my opinion. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah. Okay. And if I missed something I'm supposed to talk about, let me know.
No, I will.
So the women's shelter, we had talked about in our joint session that this was an opportunity to look at the needs and wants of Prevail, and the idea was to look at possibly getting involved with some early programming to establish a budget as well as the square foot needed for what they're looking to get. The numbers that I'm getting from people in the industry is that that can range anywhere between $150 to $200 a square foot, and that price can be in the couple $100,000 range. And that would require them to come in, meet with the folks, talk about what their needs are, what they're looking for, and basically building up the plans so that we can understand the complete cost, not just the cost of the construction, but the soft costs, which include architectural, land, off-site utilities, and all those other little nuances that we look to it, as well as the move, which will be a cost as well. So just understanding all of that. So that was, you know, I can get information to whomever would like to.
We got a, on the women's shelter, we are meeting, a few of us, and Susan Ferguson as well. In a couple weeks, we'll be meeting about that. Okay, so I mean, we are moving, trying to get that moving
As
forward.
you're, Fred, I know that you're the our liaison there, so I will forward you some names of some people that
Okay.
you might want to reach out to. If
Okay.
that's okay.
Yeah.
Second thing was I believe the 146th Street projects.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of projects that we looked at in Finance Committee, and what I want people to understand is that the process that goes about acquiring some of the federal grant money that helps support our infrastructure that we are building all around our county and state is that it goes through a process where we apply for projects that meet federal guidelines to move them forward. As part of that process, there's some pre-engineering that's done, as well as that goes through needs and other aspects with the maybe it's collision data, anything that's going to support why an improvement might be necessary. So one of the problems that we see, there's a lot of projects on here, and there's not a person up on this diocese that's not going to be supportive for things that we are in need of. However, it's being engaged during the process to understand what those commitments are. So I was going to reach out to our council attorney to see if there's something that we can put in place to maybe not ask for approval, but to be informed when those MPO applications are put in so that we can be aware of those, so we can look at our financial plan and understand what the impact is long term. We want to support these projects, but we also want to stage them in a way that it makes good sense and we're planning appropriately. Is that?
Yeah, and just to simplify that a little bit, all we're saying is we don't want you going and applying for a grant and then coming to us and say, hey, we're going to get this grant. We don't know what that project is, but we got to vote, and we're expected to approve something based on the fact that you want a grant, whether we thought that project was pertinent or necessary, I should say. So we're just saying that, we want to come up with something or come up with some process that before you apply for grants, we want to know exactly what's going on. Council needs to be
Well,
involved.
and I would say what I would like to maybe put in there is if it's something that's part of a strategic project that's already being listed out and something that they're planning on it, then we have knowledge of this coming down the pipe, and that makes it more of just an informed. But if it's something that we're not aware of, I think, to Fred, to your point, having that knowledge, is going to help us be good partners and good stewards for the taxes that we are helping support our community. So that was all I wanted to add.
Anything else on the finance? I will say, I got a nod we do have a binding agreement in place, to my understanding, regarding the parking garage, the lot itself, that they will be paying us.
Have you seen it?
I have not, but we can talk about that. We can move forward and we can talk about that in the
I got
next.
an appointment with him in the morning.
Make sure he buys, Brad.
Nah, he don't ever buy. Okay, good enough.
Thank you. Personnel.
We're meeting next week.
You're addressing items later.
Thank you. Any miscellaneous items?
I guess I got one.
Sure.
So as the liaison for Janus, we're all saddened by the retirement of Chris Sorensen as the CEO of Janus Development Services. She's left a lasting legacy that will be greatly missed, but as many people are taking great advantage of the vision that was on display and is continuing to improve our community. However, but with every departure, there's an opportunity to expand on that legacy. And I was notified today, and I'm pleased to announce that they have made an appointment of Yolanda Kincaid as the new president and CEO of Janus Development. She'll be taking that job effective March 29th, 2021. So that's exciting. I'm very happy for an organization like that has been so instrumental to supporting many of the less served in our community.
Thank you. Anything further? Seeing none, we'll move on to unfinished. Item A, did anybody have any clarity on Sheridan Economic Development Board appointee?
I can provide very little clarity, but just that we've made the next step with the Adams Township trustee is now helping try and fill that position.
Chasing down live bodies, are they?
We're trying to find somebody that wants to step up.
So we will leave that unfinished until you finish it, right, Ken?
I'm doing my best.
Item B on unfinished, we have the garage funding request in the amount of $2 million.
Do you want a motion on this?
We would need a motion on this.
Motion to approve for discussion. Oh, I'm sorry, motion to.
It's not tabled, it's just unfinished, so don't,
So
just
it's
motion.
motion in second?
Correct,
We time for,
absolutely.
Mr. Howard, can you come forward?
Was there a second?
Steve?
Yes, sir.
I am favorably disposed to put, to vote in favor of this $2 million and get this project going. Reassure me that the developer's gonna buy our lot.
The developer has signed the lot. He has at least, I think it's $75,000. It's gone hard. It's not refundable. He has got, it's a development agreement with the city of Noblesville. And he told me the other day he's about $2 million into the deal. He's not going anywhere.
So you have a comfort level.
We have a comfort level. There's some fine tuning we may need to do as far as the dates and so forth.
Right. I'm not looking for a check. I just wanna make sure we're all in this together.
They're looking to close, I think in August is what their schedule is
I
now.
did have a conversation with the mayor of Noblesville this morning, and he indicated to me that they had met all their requirements as far as they were concerned. It was good to go.
Yes.
Okay, good enough. That's all I needed.
Well, is it in writing that they're to purchase that for
Yeah,
that
it's a
dollar
signed
amount?
contract. Yes.
Okay, and you're gonna get that forwarded to council?
Would you be so obliged to send that to me
Yes,
so that
I
I may
would.
then forward that to council?
All right.
Thank you.
Yes.
My understanding is that the earnest money that they put down is waiting the incentives that are getting approved in July and August, and that's why that hasn't moved forward.
Their development agreement, including the incentives, has been approved by the city council. And it's been signed by the developer.
So there's no other city processes that they have to go through?
I think they went through, I'm not sure they've been through zoning yet, but that's not going to be a problem. Anything to get rid of the old Shell station. I think from a downtown beautification, that'll be the best project in the last 10 years.
Thank you.
All right.
Any additional discussion?
Brad, excuse me, do you want, I heard my direction to do a reimbursement resolution. Do you want to add the $600,000 that are our costs to that $2 million?
Yes,
For the reimbursement
what I would
resolution?
like to do is have you meet with our council, and he's busy till the end of April, and put your heads together, yes. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Before you leave, I'm not sure if it's which Mike would be answering this, but the fourth floor was $9,492,146. The fifth floor option was $11,498,695 based on the information they provided us before. Roughly, it's a $1,300 less per space if we go to the fifth floor. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to include you in the Steve. Huh?
The footers, the groundwork to build up, to be able to put that fifth floor on, was in that first portion of that project.
Okay.
So with the fifth floor going on there, you can see a reduction in cost because there's no added cost for that.
Gotcha.
Not enhancing the skeleton.
Steve, did you come up with, did we ever see costs of what the final kind of bells and whistles that are gonna be in there? Like, the gate to enter, any type of security that's gonna have to be,
The
security?
owner furnished equipment.
Yeah.
Excuse my parents, I've been actually I was on vacation today, so.
Well,
It
thank you
looks so
for
much
thank you for
different than
joining.
you usually do.
Yeah.
This is where I go to vacation.
That's your
too.
vacation outfit? Yeah.
Been laying floor all day today.
Oh,
At my
wow.
own house. So within that so within that $600,000, it's the cameras that match what we have in the building. It's that
Okay.
extra we talked about. Everything in that building is being ready for the cameras to be put in, and then the cameras after us and the security arms and stuff that we had talked about.
Yeah.
So that all comes in with underneath that $600,000, that as we had talked about prior to that, that's in that.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
And we already spent 400,000 out of the 9.5 to get the plans to whatever position they're at now.
Correct.
Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Anything further? Seeing none, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Here we go.
No tabled business. We'll move on to new business. Item A, approval of vendor claims.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item B, resolution CC 03-03-2021-01, a resolution concerning the purchase of real estate for the small structure number 23017 project.
What is this for highway?
Yeah, what's this for?
Motion approved for discussion.
Seconded.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion?
Anybody know what this is for?
Bear with me.
No, we
Wayne
can
Township.
just table it, and then
It's
when
a-
somebody
Brad?
decides
It's a
they know what it's
construction-
for, then come on back in. Well,
I'm trying to figure out which small structure this includes.
It's in Wayne Township, I can't remember the name of the creek, but this is a routine procedure that we go through because the estimated price of the real estate would be over 25,000, so we always get your resolution to do.
like a culvert or a.
Yeah, small
Okay.
structure, three-sided box or some kind of,
Okay, thank
small
you.
structure like that we're replacing.
Okay.
Any additional questions? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we'll move on to the grant appropriation, item C. These can actually all be combined.
1
So,
through 4.
yes, that is
Do you
correct.
need a motion for that?
I would-
I'll motion for items C1, 2, 3, and 4 combined.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item D, an interlocal agreement between the City of Westfield and Hamilton County concerning the issuance of bonds and the payment of expenses from the Village Park Economic Development Area. Is there-
So moved.
Second.
Okay, what do we got going on?
This was what we
It's a
talked about
typical-
last month, right?
Yeah, there's
It
no
is, it is it's initial document, an additional document that is necessary for the refunding of the bonds.
Okay.
The Village Park area was originally created as a county area. When Westfield annexes it, then even if we're refunding bonds at a savings, we have to have their consent, and this interlocal agreement ratifies that. We'll be going to Westfield next week and getting their approval of it. We're not having to do that in Carmel because we got an irrevocable consent the last time we issued.
Just a little legal thing there. Huh?
Just one little thing off my checklist.
Good
about
luck. Good
70
luck over there in the Westfield there.
73 yeah, it's shooting war out over there, I think.
Anything further? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. At
Thank
this
you very
time-
much.
Thank you.
Mike.
At this time, we will move on to additional appropriations, reductions, and transfers, and I will open the public hearing concerning additional appropriations. Item A, County General is requesting $148,339. We'll go to the first, which is the auditor new hire request. Is there a motion?
What?
Second.
The auditor's getting a new position?
It's been moved in second
I
for
hope
discussion.
Steve,
Ken-
I second.
Yes, Ken second.
What do you want there, Madam Auditor?
So what I'm doing is I'm planning ahead for a retirement in 3.5 years. So I'm requesting a settlement position. I will fill, or if you approve, I will move a person from my auditor real property department and backfill that position. And then at that time, the settlement person will come in above basic level because of knowledge, skills, and abilities. I will hire the auditor real property person at entry level or basic level 1. One of the positions I will pay for out of our ineligible homestead fund. I can transfer those monies. So right now, there's no increase to county general, and it'll just be moving money next month and doing the 144s if you grant my request.
You buying this, Brad?
Yeah. She wants it, she gets it. That's basically it.
Does anybody have any questions?
I was trying to bait Brad, but he didn't take it.
Yeah, he's not going to do that. Seeing no
I
additional.
know who prepares our agenda.
There you go.
Okay.
Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Next, we'll move on to the clerk 144 amendment. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve?
Is there a second for discussion?
Second.
Thank you. This is a backfill, if I'm not mistaken, for a vacant deputy registrar, like internal candidate, using the formula. So the position was budgeted. There's actually a savings. Anybody? No? Okay. Seeing no discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. If possible, I'd like to just move past item 3 for a moment, because that can be combined with number 5. I wouldn't want to approve insurance before we talk about the position. So if you're comfortable with that, I'd like to move on to item 4. Is that
Okay.
cool? Okay. Court administration reappropriation in the amount of $33,750. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, so items 3 and 5, the additional $55,641 is with regards to benefits for item 5, which is a 144 amendment requesting 2 temporary disaster recovery specialists. I believe in your packet, you will see that those are 100% reimbursed. Is there a motion?
Where we gonna put this person?
These will work for emergency management to help ensure every penny that we're eligible for FEMA reimbursement, that it is approved.
Give me that without the mask, will you?
I feel naked.
I'm sorry.
That's the EMA
Hey,
guy.
tell me that again.
These two individuals are reimbursed from FEMA
I
at
understand.
100%, and their main purpose in life is to ensure that all of the COVID-related funds that we are paying for as a county, that we are getting that back from FEMA.
Okay, and where will they physically be located?
It will be located in the Emergency Operations Center.
And do you have spots for more people?
Yes.
And what are you gonna do with them when COVID is gone and we don't
They-
wear masks anymore?
That is one of the, in the conditional offer letter for employment, it says that they will not, their last day is either on or before September 30th of this year, because that is when FEMA has drawn the line in the sand to say that they are no longer eligible for reimbursement at 100%. So once the money's gone, they're done.
You're getting better. You're getting better at that job.
That's all, as long as you're happy, Brad, that's all that matters.
Okay.
It was Steve, I believe,
I
that
think
made the
I-
motion, and Ken seconded. And that was for items 3 and 5, correct?
3 and 5.
Yep.
Okay. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion
you.
carries. Thank you. Item 6, Planning 144 amendment. Is there a motion?
This is in conjunction with last month's request.
Can I get a motion and a second for discussion?
Motion to approve? Second.
Is it or
This is in regards to, I believe, Byron stepping in as the interim director for Chuck,
This is adding the interim pay until the new director is
Correct.
hired.
because Chuck is retiring as of April 16th, I believe. Any other, do you have questions, Brad?
no?
Okay. Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 7, Sheriff 144 amendment, transfer, and a transfer of $119,813.48. Do we want to combine those, or would you prefer to do those individually? There's 2 amendments, and,
Motion to combine 6 and 7.
no, it's just 7, but the items together, yes.
Yes.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item B, Fund 1053 HCSWMD Household Hazardous Waste, requesting $4,500. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Full-time
Seeing,
employees at the HHW Center.
Yeah, it's just an additional appropriation. It's out of their funds.
457 plan.
Yeah. It's out of
Yeah, yeah,
solid waste management. Not solid waste.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item C, Fund 1176 MVH transfer in the amount of $514,059.45. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item D, Fund 1219 Park and Recreation, requesting $1,093,000. Is there a motion? So we should break this into two separate pieces because there's one request for $1 million, there's another for $93,000. There's a piece of this because we had a caveat that we included with our original motion, I believe, at the end of 2020, where it was contingent on DNR reimbursing. So I would need a motion. Okay, we've got a few motions. We would need a motion to remove the caveat and from the original, and then approve the $1 million. So two separate, correct? Or you need that all combined?
Why would we remove the caveat?
Because the money itself, any money, because this is coming out of parks, any money that's received back from DNR will go to parks. That's where we removed, is that correct?
And to move this forward, and Chris Sykes is here, but to move this forward, to take the caveats off, and it allows the Parks Department to fund the entire purchase price because of a deadline, which is March, to make the purchase. And then and if you approve the $1 million, then that, whatever's reimbursed to the county for that $1 million will be put back to the Parks Department.
Brad, I think
So
that,
they're funding the entire.
They're funding it
amount.
all instead of
Brad,
coming out of.
my understanding is that this is because they're concerned that DNR can't meet the deadline to move forward with the purchase. So they're going to go ahead and purchase it.
I understand that, but what's to keep DNR saying, well, you pay for it, so we ain't sending you a
Probably
check.
not.
Well, that's gonna be
Well,
on, that's gonna be on them because.
I have a, can
They're
I
taking the
motion for the
risk.
first
Thank
part?
you. Thank you.
I'll motion for the
Caveat.
removing of the caveat and the $1 million and $1,093,000.
No, separate that out.
Just the million.
Is there a second?
$1 million.
Second.
Okay.
Yeah, so now we're discussing, and this is the same conversation it sounds like I had with him, a few others had. That's gonna hit them.
Correct.
They gotta manage their own budget. It's not coming out of county general, it's coming out of parks. You know,
I don't disagree, and if that's what they want to do, I'm not saying I'm standing in the road, but I've already expressed my unhappiness with them not coming up with their end on a timely matter. That'd be DNR at our joint meeting. But I'm not sure that if we knew going in, when they first brought it to us a year or so ago, look, here's a piece of property, we want to buy it, DNR is going to go in half. If they'd have said, there's nobody going in on half, would we even went down this road?
yeah, they did sit there and say they did. The one thing though that I do wanna say on this, and I've seen this happen, and I've never seen it happen with parks, but I've seen it happen with plenty of other things since I've been on this council, is you clear out your account, and then you start coming to us for other things that you would normally use your account for because you never got the reimbursement. I think that is something that we could probably be watching for. You know
I
what
don't
I'm
know.
saying?
Chris, do you have anything you want to say?
Chris?
No, I'm aware of all of those concerns, and
Yeah.
so is our board.
Do you mind coming forward and just kind of giving us,
Yeah, when you start talking, you want to lose that man. Yeah.
Yeah, we are aware of those concerns, and our park board is as well, so
Okay.
this does not put us in a condition immediately to have that concern.
You trust them that far?
Excuse me?
You trust them with your $1 million?
I do.
Okay. Chris Stites said he trusts them for $1 million.
This is gonna put you under some scrutiny. All right.
Is there anything else? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And now we will go to the 93,000, which is the land acquisition for Borough. Is there a motion? Is there a second?
I'll
Second.
So moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Chris.
Does there need to be a motion regarding the reimbursement getting back to the park funds? Does that need to be?
No, you've personally guaranteed it.
Well, it was, I mean, it
goes back to them
yes.
automatically.
You
Yeah,
get it
it's
back.
automatic,
Done.
so you're good.
Robin, do we need that?
It was included with the caveat that the money would go back, any reimbursement would go back to the park fund. Next item on the agenda is Fund 1222, Public Safety Communications, new position. What we would need here is a motion to approve to send to WIS and personnel for evaluation, so he is coming with the request.
I'll motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you.
What's your new person gonna do?
We're classifying him as what we're calling the LIT Special Projects Manager. Last year, when we were having the meetings going into LIT, we knew we were going to be taking on additional responsibilities as far as communications for all the departments. And we also have the situation where we still need to finish backup center and COVID put us behind on that. With Steve was being extremely busy with that part of it, trying to get people in to do the bids and such, that was kind of difficult. What we've looked at is when we went through this last year, we did want to add somebody at that point in time because we did not know exactly what the effect would be for all those additional responsibilities we would be picking up. So what this person would do is actually act as the face of the LIT part, to where he would talk and deal with the individual departments. Right now, we've got about 3 different people, depending on what project they're working on, communicating with them and talking to our partners and public safety agencies. They voice some concern about there being a lack of information flowing back and forth and the accountability of it. So this would be that part of it. And then with COVID coming on board, we realized we had some areas that we needed to improve on, which was when we decided we were going to move to the backup center. We have people that were specialized in certain areas, but it was communicating to get them to go there, make sure everything was taken care of. And then obviously, as we talked about the building of the backup center, if we're able to function out of it as a backup center, we need to finish the outside of it and the rest of it. So this person would work with Steve in helping getting some of that work done. They would actually be stationed out of the Fisher site to make sure this is all being taken care of.
Okay, and this is paid for out of the,
This is paid for out of the LIT.
okay, good enough, thank you.
Any other questions?
Nope.
Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you very
Motion
much.
carries. Thank you. Items F and G are interest earnings. So if we would like to combine those fund GO bond series, that would be amazing.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And at this time, I will close the public hearing on additional appropriations, and we will move on to announcements. Sheriff. Thank you. Council Attorney. And Madam Auditor, I know you have a couple of things for us.
I'm sorry, I'm meeting tonight.
Thank you kindly. The auditor is passing out information with regards to a request to amend the agenda to include 4 items: Fund 8906, Fund 1000, Fund 1159, and 22 budget instructions. So can I have a motion to amend the agenda to include these items?
So moved.
Second.
So moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Madam Auditor, it is yours.
Okay, so the first item, the 144 amendment, is correcting an hourly rate for 8906, which is the COVID Emergency Supplemental Grant Fund that was found. And so we're before you to correct that hourly amount.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
I'll second.
So moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Next, Fund 1000 County General, a transfer and a overtime.
Yes, so I'm before you tonight because unfortunately, due to things that I've listed on the justification, year-end COVID, retirement of a 25-year employee, increased federal monies coming in, our enterprise resource planning, which is our new system that we're getting ready to hopefully do here soon, and our single-use account implementation, which is something in accounts payable. I have unfortunately used 88% of our overtime budget. So Dawn and I met with our team leads today, and I have $17,415 that I can transfer, so there would be no additional request from the person that retired. And then we're hoping that, so this is really an odd year, so I'm hoping that this will take me through the end of the year, but Dawn, myself, my team leads, and we have 4 or 5 other people that are working with ISS on our enterprise resource planning system that we have to, we're literally going to spend hours getting ready to go through the process. And so I'm asking that you guys allow me to do that, and then hopefully next year you will not see this amount of money spent on overtime in my department. So it's just circumstances that have caused this issue for me.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Health Fund 1159. It's a 144 amendment transfer to cover internal promotions.
So Jason Lemasters is here. This is an internal promotion and transfer to cover cost. And I'm doing this for him tonight so that he would not have to wait another 30 days. So Jason, if you want to let them know.
Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you.
What we have for this are we're doing 2 internal promotions of our staff to backfill positions. One is actually myself, my former position as the Director of Environmental Health, and then we're moving our Senior Environmental Specialist up to that position, and then we will be bringing one of our staff that's currently on up to that Senior Environmental Specialist position. And I believe through this, actually, there's actually probably a cost savings in our budget because they've even with so how much? $41,000 into our current budget. So hoping that we can get these 2 positions filled, promoted, and backfilled so I can take care of a lot of my supervisory issues that I need since we're kind of stuck out at the clinic a lot.
Any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. And lastly, we have our 2022 budget instructions. This is for review and the anticipation of adoption next month. Is there
Will you give us another copy next month?
any questions regarding that? Seeing none, there is nothing else. We are adjourned.